So
you know. So
this is a site it burned a week ago.
Today.
Yeah. So what time of day did y'all burn it?
We actually burned it, last week was really hot, and we didn't have the dew we've had this week due to the rain. So we actually burned it probably about 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. And there was a southeast wind at about 20 to 25 mile an hour wind. And if y'all notice as you come over the dam, there's a little brush pile. I had some dirt work done on my ponds, and he pushed some willow trees off that pond dam. So it didn't want that to get in there with that 25 mile an hour wind. So on this particular burn, we lit that corner off first. That's kind of the backfire. And we started in this point, this fresh dirt. And this was a summer burn last year in July across here. You come from the point, lit the head fire this way, it burned here and burned out. In about less than an hour. We did use the leaf blower just a little bit, just as a guard on that break right there. And all we used as a fire break there was a erosion ditch there, not that wide.
What kind of preparation did you do for this burn then? You didn't disc around it or
No, there was no preparation. So this on the north side of us right here was burned last year. So essentially there's no thatch, no fuel. Okay? And then there was some dirt work here on this burn where the vehicles are sitting. This pasture, this pond did not catch a lot of runoff. So I had a dozer come in here and reshape it. And we put dirt between this pond right here and this one. So essentially not a fire break, except for that erosion. And then the ditches of the trees. There's not as much fuel underneath the canopy of the trees.
cattle on this?
There has not been cattle yet on this. You passed a few cattle, they're on the pasture the cabin's on. It will not carry in there currently. That's why there's not fire. There's not a lot of dead fuel underneath that canopy.
So a lot of times too, it's shaded enough underneath there, it holds enough moisture that stuff is just not flammable at all. So makes those kind of breaks a whole lot easier, a whole lot safer to use.
And the leaf litter under those trees burns better like as soon, the closer to leaf drop, the better they burn, because they're not decomposing. They're kind of fluffed up, and a lot of those, and actually oak leaves burn probably the best, and there's not just a whole lot of oak trees in there. Those hackberries and things like that, their leaves don't provide very good fuel anyway. So
what about, I've got a draw, 30 long draw. It's longer than that, but it's got a lot of canopy, but there's a lot of cedar in it too.
if there's
Would you
no
still
if
use
there's
that as a fire break?
yeah, if there's no fuel underneath it, the cedars, you got to have something. I think Jess called it last. You got to have something to get the flames up to catch those cedars on fire. And if you don't have the fuel under it, it's not going to catch on fire. So
Probably one of the biggest things, kind of a misconception about cedar trees. Cedar trees are volatile. They do burn well. They've got oils in them that increases the flammability of them. So also what it boils down to is leaf moisture. It's how wet those cedars are. Because cedars make a great fire break. I've slammed fires into cedars. They're not going to burn. They're not going anywhere.
I've always
Because
thought
they're
the
moisture.
opposite way,
And
Dave.
again, everything you see on TV, everything you've seen probably or have been in a wildfire condition. And what conditions are most big wildfires in? Drought, dry. So leaf moisture is dry.
High winds.
They're high winds. They're
Low
very
humidity.
flammable. But for the most part, cedars are not that flammable. They make good fire breaks. Again, it all goes about leaf moisture and about how much moisture they have in them.
What's the leaf moisture amount to get one to burn?
Oh, you've got to get it to burn really good. You're going to get it down below 80% around here. The further south you go, get into Texas. They've done some studies looking at so the more drought or the drier the climate, the the lower the leaf moisture has to be for it to be really dry. So whereas we're here about 80% leaf moisture and we're starting to get dry, in mid Texas, West Texas, 60% is dry.
And over where I am, our night and air conditions are 85 degrees, humidity is under 10%, the leaf moisture is under 40%, the deep junipers, the wind's over 25 miles an hour, and under conditions like that, the juniper cedars burn like kerosene fire.
But you pop that up just a little bit of moisture,
Yep, just bring it up to 50%,
and they
you
won't
can't
burn
light
at
it
all.
to save your life.
Can't get them to go.
Don, have you ever had a canopy fire all summer burn?
I've had some. I've actually had some pretty good luck with getting some of them to crown out, and to actually burn. The deal with, if you're talking about canopy fire in a cedar, in solid stems of cedar, no, because what it takes in that is you've got to have strong winds and dry conditions, and that's usually those wildfire type conditions which we're not burning under. Because you've got to get that, because you've probably seen it burning enough where you got two cedars growing right next to each other. One of them crowns out, the other one just sits there. It don't even catch on fire, and it's got flames licking right there next to it. And you think, well, you can't even comb your hair around it. Static electricity should set it on fire, and it won't go. Because you gotta be able to lay the flames over into it, and it's all about wind and getting that.
Oh, your wind.
Right, see right there, yeah.
That's what I was looking at. You didn't
Thinking of
carry through
dogwood,
that.
right? So yeah, you still left some. Again, that's all right. That's good for oil on that.
We had a lot of trees, cedars, and everything else cleared out, and they came in with a machine that basically mulched it as they tore it down.
Right.
Is that mulch? Is that a fire hazard if I'm burning through there?
That's the mulch that's on the ground. A lot of that's going to depend again on moisture. So the closer to a rainfall event, the less flammable it becomes. The drier it gets, the better it's going to be. Whereas, now it's not a pile. It's laying
It's
flat
all
on the
spread
ground, so
out.
it's a whole lot easier and simpler. Yes, it may burn and will burn, but
But once it burns around it, it's done. There's
it's
no more.
done. And the other deal is you're not having to deal with a pile of cedar trees or individual cedar trees.
Okay.
You've got them mulched up and they're out of it.
They may smolder for a couple of days on
Yeah, they may smolder
piles or
longer.
whatever, but you don't have that all day to fuel around.
Yeah, at least they're on the ground.